Hello YouTubers, Cyberdyne24 here. We're on location to one of my places that my dad works at, and also I help him out with. It's the historic Crown Point Maplewood Cemetery, and one of the jobs that my father actually does, he does a lot of the lawn maintenance for the cemetery. And this is actually one of the new pieces of equipment he's got this year. This is a Kubota ZD326 zero-turn commercial grade mower. Now, as you can see right here, it's pretty massive when you compare it to a residential grade zero-turn mower. Here, let's see if I can get this thing, get you a better shot of it. Yeah, there's a better shot of it. And if you can't hear my voice very well, YouTubers, it's raining right now. Luckily it's kind of letting up a little bit, but it's been doing this off and on. So if you can't hear me, I'll try to raise my voice up. Now, this is actually powered by a 3-cylinder, 26 horsepower Kubota diesel engine. And a lot of things people may wonder is, what's the benefit of having diesel over gas? Well, with diesel engines, they have a better longevity, from what I've been told, and also the fuel consumption is less than a gas mower. Previous mowers that we've used were an Exmark front runner that had a 23 horsepower Kawasaki engine, Exmark Laser Z with a 19 horsepower Kawasaki, and the Simplicity Sunstar with a 20 horsepower Kohler engine. I mean, the Kawasaki engines are really good if you're looking for a good gas mower. Kawasaki or Briggs & Stratton. Definitely if you had a choice, go with the Japanese engines. They're very good. They're built very well. Now, as you see here in the front, it's a little, you see this? Awesome. You think it's some kind of like decal word to sort of show off that it's Kubota, but actually this is a really cool feature. This is a pivoting front axle. This is something that you don't see on any. I haven't seen on any other commercial zero-turn lawnmower. Skag, Gravely, Exmark, just to name a few. With this pivoting front axle, it helps feel the contours of the ground, which cuts down on scalping. But with a larger deck, there's more of a probability of scalping. But this sort of helps cut it down. Plus, also, this is where the jack is, because that's always been a big problem with pretty much garden tractors and also zero-turn mowers to begin with, is how you're supposed to service the deck. You can always take with the lawn tractors. You can take they're really easy now. You know, you take two cotter pins off. You take 2 pins off from the rear of the mower deck, which takes it off the change, and then you have a front part. You just pull off, and a bar comes down. Then you can pull the deck off. I mean, it's really easy for garden tractors. Zero-turn mowers are always been very difficult, because these are actually mid-mount, just like garden tractors. But, you know, they've come out with new things like the mow jack, where you pretty much just drive the tractor into this little apparatus, and it has a little jack on it, and you can use a swing, you can use a manual, or you can use a cordless drill to jack it up. That's one way of doing it. But companies like Exmark, I've seen, they will actually have a jack mounted in the corner of the front axle, where you can just stick your rod in, jack it up, and then you can actually service the deck. With this, the jack's actually built into it. Plus, also, is the axle acts as the jack. So you take one of these pins here, you stick it either in one end or the other, which corresponds to what side you want to jack up. Take this arm, and you just jack it up. It's very easy. It's very, it's very easy. Plus, also it's one less part you have to, one less thing you have to have cluttering your shop is the mow jack or a hoist to lift this thing up, because this is a pretty heavy mower. And throw the cover on. Looks like nothing's there. Now you have your two full rubber tires. That means there's no air pockets into it, so they never will run flat if you hit a nail or any kind of sharp objects, which is a very good thing. This was an addition, add-on to the mower. I highly recommend it, because you don't want one of those semi-pneumatic where it's half rubber and has a small air pocket in it. Now you also have your grease points up here, grease points on the wheels, grease points up here on the top of the axles, and also grease points for the deck. This is something that we have to do on a regular basis. The grease points in the rear of the vehicle, rear of the mower, we really don't pay attention, we really don't have to mess with those. Actually, the service people that will pick this mower up and do a periodical service, they will actually take care of it. But greasing the front part and the deck is actually very easy, as you can see right here. Let me get this off the... You have an easy access panel, which you have access to the drive shaft, all the pulleys, where you can get access to the belt and also get access to the grease points for the pulleys, which also are pretty much the pulleys and spindles. And also you have access to the gas switch. Now with this particular mower, it has dual tanks, so it's right now set for the right side tank. You can switch the button here for left tank, or pretty much cut off gas altogether. Plus also you have access this way if you don't want to lift this thing up. It's got a nice rigid rubber padding on it, which is actually mounted to the body itself, which is really nice. Right here you have your parking brake. Right here is the lock for the parking brake. You push it to a certain point, and it locks in place. Here you have your deck lift adjustments up and down. With a lot of commercial grade mowers, you might have like a electronic actuator, which I think is not a really good idea. Or you have a manual deck lift where you'll have a big lever here with a little push button on top. You push it down and you raise and lower the deck. You see that a lot in residential zero-turn mowers and also tractors. But this system is all done with the hydraulics of the mower. The deck lift adjustment is all done with the hydraulics of the whole entire mower. So it's really a nice way of tying the hydraulics into this. Because believe me, with a deck this heavy, you wouldn't want to be, an actuator would burn out pretty quick, and also doing this by hand would be very difficult. Now let's get up on this mower deck. Well, actually one thing to also show is these little shrouds here that cover the outside spindles to make sure no debris gets into them. With other mowers, it's usually a metal pan that's bolted down onto the deck. These are actually hard ABS plastic, and it also has little clips, so you can pop these things on and off very quick, no tools needed, which is really good. So let's actually get up on here on the platform and actually show you the seat. This is a high back seat. You both have armrests on it, and behind the seat is a mesh bag. Now this is for if you find like garbage, like bottles or anything of that nature. You can just simply just put it in there. It's not very big, so you really can't hold much stuff. You got a cup holder here. You got the arms here. And here's your main panel. Your main panel right here. You have your temp gauge, fuel gauge, your keys, your blade engagement, which this is actually, I think, is a really nice convenience for Kubota than other ones. Everyone else has electronic blade engagement, where you have a PTO switch and you pop it up, which engages the blade. Lots of times you can get electrical failures, and it can be very costly to fix. This, all it is, it's in the rest position. Pull it towards you, move it, lock it in place, engages the blade. Very simple. I can't believe other companies have not implemented something like this to their tractors. It would save their customers a lot of money, and also the service people a lot of money. You have your throttle adjustment here, lever, same as the blade engagement. You got your idle and high. You got your hour meter right here, which this is registering at 65 hours. So this is a new mower. And right here you have your blade height adjustment. With the other blade height adjustments on commercial zero-turn mowers, it's usually kind of like a curved bracket that's like right next to one of the control arms, and it's got several holes into it that correspond to different heights. You would pretty much pull the pin out, stick the pin in a particular height that you want, and then it would lower the decks. It would lower the blades to that particular height. Now that's usually difficult, because lots of times there's no electrics behind it, so there's this shift. There's a little foot assist pedal. You push it, it raises it. You pull the pin out, you stick the pin in, you let go of your foot, and that's pretty much how the blade height adjustment is on other mowers. I think it's more of an inconvenience, because if you have an older person, they don't have enough strength in their feet. It can be very cumbersome, especially with a deck of this width and weight. Now let's take a look at the rear portion. As you can see, you got the big tires. You got your caps for your tanks, and then you got full roll bar over here, and also you have your lights. Lights go on from the rear, which I think is kind of annoying. You also have, if you don't need the bar and if you want to fold it for trailer purposes, anything like that, you got your pins and also this little knob, which then folds back. But in our particular case, we do not fold the roll bars, because we have a lot of hills in the cemetery and the roll bars are definitely needed. Let's take a look at the engine itself. Now, to do the engine, you have to push a little knob right here. See, this works better with two people, and here you go. Right here you have your radiator and also coolant tank. You have your heavy duty air filtration system, which is very good. Plus also you have an indicator here that tells you how good the filter is, when the filter needs to be serviced, cleaned out, or replaced. Right here you have the wonderful 3-cylinder Kubota diesel engine. Very nice. You have the exhaust. Plus also you have your periodic service chart right here. You have a nice little heavy duty screen enclosure on it. And another cool thing, battery box is right here. It's really easy to get to. You unloosen these wing nuts, boom, pop the battery off, change it if you want. Now, if you want to get further access to this piece of equipment, you push this in again, the same lever we used to open up the hood, and here we go. As you can see right here, we have the two hydro pumps. the filter, fuse panel, the dipstick for the hydro fluid. But pretty much is you have greater access to all the important parts of the tractor itself. You know, it's really nice and clean in there. It's very, 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 very nice. Very nice indeed. Now, one thing to do if, for instance, this mower needs to be serviced and you can't get it started, because usually in cases like that, the hydro pumps will actually lock and you can't move the thing forward. Now, behind this plate here, there are 2 bolts that go to both the hydro pumps. And if you turn those bolts, counterclockwise, they will actually release the pressure in the hydraulic system, which then you'll be able to actually push this thing, get it onto a trailer, and take it to your service dealer. Now, another thing you may want to ask yourself is, what's the price on a piece of equipment like this? Well, the price on it was about, if you're not a government entity, you'd be looking at probably about $15,000, and that's including all the extra stuff, the tires, the lights. But believe me, if you bought a tractor like this, you would get a lot of life on it. Plus, also, getting parts for this Kubota tractor are very easy, and overall, it does a really nice cut. I mean, a lot of people will consider this actually the Cadillac of lawnmowers. Well, YouTubers, I hope you like this in-depth analysis of the Kubota ZD326 tractor. If you have any more interest into it, contact your local Kubota dealer. Go out there and give them a shot, because believe me, they have commercial grade and also residential grade zero-turn mowers, gas or diesel, and they'll be able to fit you with the right size of mower. Y'all have a good one, YouTubers, and have a nice day.